Now, I said that I wasn't going to come back on live until I got to Chicago, got my full official briefing, and knew what the hell I was talking about. But I am still, as I have been, stuck in this goddamn airport, eagerly dying to get to Chicago because guess what? I got the tea, and now we finna have the juice, and I'm putting everything that I have on this saying. The hoods are going to be going home. Now I'm gonna say a couple things because I've written it, but I know niggas don't read. But there's a guy who just put up a really, really wonderful and eloquent video as a former police officer named Mike Brown talking about the technicalities of the case. And I'm so disappointed because Mike Brown, from my understanding, should have the same resources and the same access that I have, but he keep on wanting to do this from a police sympathist type of perspective that doesn't always, in my opinion, no matter how eloquent and educated it sounds, do any good when you don't know what the fuck you talking about because you ain't gotten all the details. Now, the first thing that I want to say is now that I have talked to official authorities as it relates to this case with the Hoods shooting of the Browns, I'm 100% reinforced in the fact that I am on the side of the Hoods, and it's free the Hoods. Free the Hood, free the Hood, free the Hood, free the Hood. And now I want to give you all some of the factual, what I understand to be factual, and if I'm getting wrong, it's because I was lied to, and I just don't think that these officials I'm finna say anything premature that's not gonna be the case, but they already know. And I'm not saying this because, oh, I'm so scary and all that shit, but I'm just telling y'all the truth. People know I don't play. So these officials I've been talking to for years, they don't play with me, they don't lie to me, they don't cut corners because they know that Jedediah coming with the real shit. If I gotta come by myself, I'm coming, and I'm not gonna play no games. I have a real reputation of that. I will do what I need to do to get the point across. And ain't nobody gonna deny that. So when I call, people fucking answer. And my understanding of this situation is, first of all, the police are in shock. That's the first thing. The police are in shock. Y'all actually heard it on the live that I did before when I was talking to a representative. They are in shock because since Kim Foxx has been the state's attorney, the state's attorney's office has never quickly or just agreed with any charges that the police department have brought to the table. And so I thought that was pretty strange that they were so shocked, saying, dang, that we were shocked that they gave an approval for felonious first-degree murder charges for the mother and the son, because they never agree with us. Y'all got niggas out there legitimately shooting each other, and they don't even get murder charges like this. They be manslaughter and all kind of goofy stuff. They be first, second, third time offenders, and the state's attorney's office still don't disagree. So I thought that was a little strange. So here's the first thing that I want y'all to understand. This thing was approved by Assistant State's Attorney Ann McCord, a white woman who, in my opinion, based on what I see, she's horrible. And now I'm going to say it because I don't know if anybody else will say it. I'm still saying that it's hard out here for a black man. This racist heifer then approved those charges because the information that she saw was black man gun. And she did not look at the video. She did. And I'm telling y'all, on Sunday, I just got off of the phone. Ann McCord didn't even see the video. Y'all we're seeing the video now because it just started circulating on social media, those of us who was not in Chicago at the time. But y'all, this thing happened somewhere around Father's Day. This thing happened days ago. But listen to this. Ann McCord approved those charges because of these facts. There was a young black man that shot a man in the back after there was an altercation, and when he went outside, there was a shooting. That's all that racist ass woman needed, and that's what she did, and that's why she approved those charges. So what am I saying to y'all? I'm saying to y'all, check this out. The state's attorney, Kim Foxx, who was duly elected to oversee the entire office, had not seen this video, nor has she seen this case, because all the things that go through Cook County criminal court system, she hadn't seen this. And the woman at the time, or during this time, she was not even in town doing Father's Day. Come on, y'all. So do you all understand what I'm saying? That the state's attorney herself has not had the opportunity to fully review this case. In other words, get the fuck loud, because now she needs to look at this case, and she needs to now step in from what her state's attorney, her assistant state's attorney has done. Now, let's take it a step further. Not only did Ann McCord approve these charges without looking at the video, not only did Did she do this without looking at the video? Y'all, this is some interesting stuff to me. You got people out here talking about there's women out here trying to be a man, all speculatory and all opinion. Ain't women out here trying to be a man. She should have backed off of him and stopped arguing with him. Well, I just said it in my text message, and I'm gonna ask y'all again: are y'all fucking blind, or are y'all fucking deaf, or are y'all just repeating bullshit? Because when the video starts, according to what I seen and what I think y'all saw, you see a woman not even addressing the sizable man who's, and when I say sizable, he's bigger than her. His broad shoulders. He look like he has strength. He literally, clearly is a real threat to her safety. So you guys have this big ass man in front of a woman who at that time is, I don't know if they had an argument. I don't know what they argued about before. I don't know what was going on before that moment. But this man, this sizable man in that moment is not even being addressed. So there y'all go. All y'all that's saying, oh, she could have left it alone. She should have walked away. She could have de-escalated it. She wasn't even talking to the motherfucker. She literally, at that time, I guess she perceived that this man had decided that he was going to be such a threat, and whatever happened before the video, she was not talking to him. That woman said to her son, which is where y'all came up with this whole rhetoric that she called her son in, because y'all see her talking to her son. Stop listening to incoherent ass, incompetent people who just say stuff just because they need to say something. She told her child, go get in the car. Look at the video. Look at it again. She said in the very beginning of it, go get in the car. He said, go get in the what? He thought that she was talking about him or talking to him. She was talking to her child. Go get in the car. And he said, go get in the what? And then he literally then says to her at that moment, if you say something else, I'm going to knock you out. In other words, he is now threatening a woman that he is not associated with physical violence. Did you get what I just said? He is now threatening her with physical violence. Her telling her child, go get in the car, already demonstrates that she feels threatened to the point that she needs to get her children out of the environment. If you look at the video, this woman is also in a goddamn corner. She is cornered by this man who was threatening physical violence. She is not talking to him. She is not even really looking at him. Now, here we go. At the same point now, when he tells her, I'm going to knock you out, it is my understanding that there is a female companion in there that is encouraging the behavior, but that is speculatory. That is alleged. I don't know. So then now in the video that we're watching, and I still got to say alleged, but this is the thing. Not only does he say that, it is almost directly after saying it. Now, if you tell me I'm gonna knock you out, now I'm gonna look at you and I'm gonna say, excuse me, or what you saying, but her statement is inaudible. It is not even heightened. She is not even more aggressive in her response at that time. Do you get this? She is not even more responsive. I'm not even louder, and her statement to him is inaudible, and he's telling her, I'm gonna knock you out if you say something else. Who are you talking to? I don't know what she say, but this is what I want y'all to get. Check this out. This man then, with his full strength, he literally cocks his hand back. He puts his hand in the position, and he's saying that I'm gonna knock you out. In other words, I'm going to render you unconscious. Now, if you look at the way he hit her and the unknown variables, again, I'm gonna say it again, he could have broke her neck. He could have knocked her head into the wall and smashed the crane, and she could have had internal bleeding. He could have knocked her to the ground, and she could have fell back, and she could have bumped her head on the floor. All those pussy ass, punk ass people in the environment that wasn't saying nothing, they ran. That also shows you that this is a threatening environment. She is unsafe. Her child is unsafe. Okay. So when he punches her, everybody run. There's chaos, even more chaos that's going on. But while he is punching this woman with full force, the child allegedly then shoots the man in the back. Now, the gun, I want you all to understand, this is a gun that is legally held by a concealed carry owner. Who is that concealed carry owner? The mama. Why does the mama have a concealed carry gun? Literally, I can also say that she clearly didn't have an intent to kill anybody, because the gun was left in the car. The young man saw his mother under distress. He decided to come in and provide his mama with what she needed. But guess what she got there from? Her job. This business owning woman, who I understand now is a security officer and has a valid concealed carry permit to protect herself and others when there's a forcible felony like the law in Illinois provides, literally left her gun in the car while she was getting food for herself and her kid. What did I just say that didn't make sense? So all these people saying that she could have did this, that, and the third, she did whatever any mother would do. Before I respond to this clown, I'm gonna get my child out the wrong. So now, the boy literally protected. He is a hero, and he should be seen as nothing less. But it is crazy to me that we now find out in the subsequent days, not even reported by the media, and I just called every news outlet in Chicago and I gave them their ass, because ain't not one of them told us that this boy was in the movie Chirac. Ain't not one of us told us that he just graduated with honors. Ain't not one of them told us that this boy his mother is a business owner, or none of this good stuff that could, paint a picture of a young black man. You know what? I'm so irritated. Listen to what they ain't said nothing. I said y'all ain't said, I ain't seen. I'm looking at all the reportings. I ain't seen none of that shit. Oh, Jedediah, that was some days ago, and we didn't know. Well, now you know. So what you gonna do? Well, that was the news then. No, bitch, it's the news today. Everybody on social media, y'all are saving the lives of this family. And so what I just had the pleasure of doing is I said, they didn't delay my flight literally about 6 times. I'm coming home to Chicago, and I was sitting in this motherfucking airport all day because we coming to get them out. Free the hoods. They're gonna be up out of their jail if it's the last damn thing I do. Listen to what I'm saying. Everybody now want to get involved because y'all putting it on the internet. But stop letting them push the false narrative of this family. He played a stupid game and he got a stupid prize. The family don't need to be in jail, and he need to pray to God with his past of beating people and punching people in the face that God see fit that he ain't in hell. But this is what we're going to do right now. There is supposed to be a press conference that's coming on Tuesday, but I ain't waiting to no goddamn Tuesday. We're demanding for the immediate release of these individuals with a better bond. But y'all hear what I'm saying? Thank God we got a state's attorney with some sense. She hasn't even seen this stuff, and she ain't lying. It ain't a lie. She ain't seen it. She didn't know nothing about it. Stuff come across these state's attorneys all day, all the time. So now we need Kim Fox, the state's attorney, to review this shit, and you make a conscious effort and then put your assistant state's attorney and McCord. So if y'all want to know, well, what do we do right now? Man, y'all make that lady, I'm not even going to be racist or racial, Ann McCord is the person that approved the charges. Ann McCord is the reason that these people are in jail for first-degree murder. Ann McCord is the person that everybody be needing to focus on, and then they put them in front of one of the toughest judges in Cook County, and this is what we're saying now. The state's attorney's office did not give y'all enough evidence because they didn't have enough evidence, and they gave the judge very limited information. Now this woman is sitting in jail with a $3 million bond, and her son is sitting in jail with no bond because they're looked at a different way than what they should be. She would have been just a victim if she didn't have a courageous son, and he would have been just another thug that made a bad decision when actually he's a goddamn hero. Now, there's some other stuff because I ain't gonna put it all out. I'm not gonna put it all out, but I'm gonna tell y'all it ain't a whole lot of justice in this injustice system. And they didn't already have some people approach them, this family who was trying to come together. Family members are now coming into town. I was so fortunate, and I thank God for everybody on social media that was able to connect me to the sister. Now I have a connect to the sister. I got to connect to the grandmama. I got to connect to everything that's going on, and it's on. So that's a little bit of the tea. I'm not putting nothing else out there because y'all, we got a hell of a fight in front of us. But I'm gonna tell y'all this: I know for a fact we finna win. I know for a fact that boy finna be home, and I know for a fact that we gonna definitely make it clear. Now, if you shooting people unrighteously, take your ass to jail. But when you a hero, it's time for black people to start standing up for ourselves and for each other, and stop the goofy and the bullshit. And Mike Brown, do me a favor, do a little bit more research before you start talking about the technicalities of the law. And I do declare that them people are going to be at home before I leave the soil of Chicago. Now, anybody got a question so I can answer? Because if not, we got to get the fuck to work. And yeah, I cussed and I meant it. I've been sitting in the airport. I done made this my whole command center in my office. I've been trying to figure this stuff out all day. Y'all heard the police. The police don't even want nothing to do with this. They like, no, we didn't approve these charges. It wasn't us. And we ain't never seen them agree so fast. When the police pussyfoot around some charges, you know it's some bullshit. And if the internet wasn't around today, whoo, Lord have mercy. This little boy and this woman will be in jail for something that happened to them. That's what pisses me off. Everybody behind me, y'all all right? Because I'm all right. Y'all don't think I'm crazy up here. I'm okay. These people looking at me like that nigga over there losing his mind. So come on, man. So Jedediah, what do we do? Look up State's Attorney Ann McCord, get on her ass, tell everybody. So stop talking about the false narrative and start telling the truth. Ann McCord did approve these charges. She did it. And this is what's crazy to me. And this is what's crazy to me. Y'all see what they do? They wait till the state's attorney is gone. They wait till the state's attorney, Kim Fox, is not around, and they start doing this shit. Every single thing that was approved while Kim Fox was out of town needs to be reviewed. Because these state's attorneys is mad. They mad because they want points so that they can one day hopefully become the state's attorney. But y'all literally got Mike Brown on here talking, she could have de-escalated and this and that. No, shut that bullshit up. She wasn't talking to him. He misunderstood her because he was too much in his bag. His panties was in his ass. It was him. She wasn't talking to him. And and another thing, I checked, I double checked, and I triple checked. There is no text message of her telling her child to come in there to do any of that. But there is a video of her telling her child, go get in the car. I got full hope that Kim Fox is going to do the right thing. I really do. But until then, y'all don't be silent. You don't stop. This is coming back up because of the people. That is why this situation is coming back up into the media cycle, because they see that y'all care. Don't stop caring. Now, is there any question? I'm not going to say too much more. I'm just going to I got to get home. We got to get home. Who was that man? We got to get home. Come on. Is the mother out? My understanding is that they are both in custody. They are both in custody at this moment. Y'all heard me make the phone call a few moments ago. They are both in custody. We got to get them out. And every lie, it's time for y'all to stop the lies. Cut them down. Now, and Jedediah ain't going on no secondhand information. I call direct officials. I call real people with real knowledge and real access to stuff. So don't repeat those lies anymore. It's not what happened. It's not what happened. And I'm going to be clear. You punch my mama, you're dead. Period. And somebody said, well, Jenna, what about the family of the victim? They need to make sure that they tell the rest of their men in their family, don't beat on women. Do I have sympathy? Only if they are honest enough. Just like the family of the victim saying, we give condolences. The only way I got any sympathy for the family, if they will acknowledge it was wrong, and we hate that our family was portrayed in this light, and then tell us that he was such a wonderful person. But if y'all gonna defend that bullshit, the Bible clearly lets me know you get what you deserve, and I'm not gonna give you anything that you don't deserve. So if y'all want my sympathy, then I guess y'all finna get on the news and say, look, we also agree that this family ought to be released. Now, if you all want to do something right and powerful, do that shit. Because I just talked to every media outlet in the damn city, and ain't not one of them said that y'all talked to them. So if you on the side of the young man and you know him personally, and you want us to believe that he wasn't such a horrible human being, we need you to first acknowledge that it was wrong and that he took it too far, and that the injury to this family is beyond just injury. It's insult now, because they shouldn't be in jail. And if we can get together, kumbaya, and march together for their freedom, then I guarantee you, you'll get the sympathy of the whole world. All right. I don't see no questions. Did she know him? I've not been able to confirm that they knew each other at all. That was something that was said in one of the videos before, but we do not have any proof of preconceived knowledge. Oh, and so what I was able to talk to one person, and they do not recall. And I'm trying to get them to come publicly, but they do not recall her ever asking him to purchase her any food. This was a woman who worked and this was a woman who was on her stuff. She did not ask a man to pay for her food. That has been so far unproven rhetoric. He hit her like she was a man. Is there any other questions? I'm gonna give y'all 60 seconds, and then I'm gonna get off of here. He has a history. His sorry. Is there any other? So again, if you want to, there is a press conference that is scheduled for Tuesday. Did she tell her son to keep shooting after he ran away? I would not be here. I would not be here defending somebody who done something. I don't believe in injustice on no level. We have no proof of that ever happening. That is not something that has been said on any official report, and it is not something that has been shown in any video. It is not something that has been testified in any witness statement. And it is my understanding that the female companion of the man who was shot is the person who identified the mother and the son. That's why they was arrested. And the state's attorney, Ann McCord, approved the charges based off of very little and basic information. That woman was probably back there just signing away on prosecutions of black people that day because she knew Kim Fox was not in town. What's old boy name who is dead? His name is Jeremy Brown. Where's the girlfriend? Will you be saving this? I would like to watch it from the beginning. I don't know. Will you speak to the mayor while you're here? I've already made the phone call. He did, but the mayor cannot do really a lot in this except for give a public opinion to help with people's perception. He can't do shit. Unless he's going to come out there and march with us. Or he's going to show up at that press conference on Tuesday and say that he agreed that they should be free. Ooh, I'm on charge. He didn't knock those bullets out. I have no feelings for him. He's a hero in my eyes. You a hero in mine too? Is the alderman involved? When? Where can I find the video? Everywhere. Did she tell her son to shoot the girlfriend? No proof of that anywhere. She never, and it's the other thing. She never struck back. When this man began to punch her, she only covered herself in self-defense. She never hit him back. If you want to know look, because I'm not the official organizer, I'm trying to do this the right way. If you want to be involved with this, then send me an inbox, and I guarantee you now, it's going to be a lot of people that's going to see this live, but I'm going to do my best to keep y'all up to date on everything that's going on. I even thank the family because the family is actually listening to advice. But y'all, this is what I want to tell y'all. This the thing. This is the thing that's hurting my heart right now. I want to tell y'all this one thing that really, this is what's crushing me. They've already been through a lot. This family is trying to come together in this very difficult time and get organized. And do you all know that they've already been mishandled by lawyers? They've already dealt with more injustice than it's not my story to tell. But the reason why I just say that, because I hope one day that they tell y'all what's happening to them behind the scenes. It's some stuff that's going on that is so bogus. I'm not going to tell y'all their business, but I'm not going to tell y'all their business, but I'm going to tell you something that happened to mine. Sometimes a lawyer can see a case and they can make a whole lot of promises so they can get you to sign a document and give them a retainer that they know that they either ain't or can't or won't do. And that should be so bogus. Y'all better do y'all research on these motherfuckers before y'all be assigning them to y'all cases. Is my flight ready yet? I'm so tired of Southwest. Hold on, y'all. If my flight not ready, I'm gonna come back and. Oh my God! They done changed our gate at least 7 times. What is going on? This is crazy. This is fucking crazy. Chicago Midway flight. Head over to gate number 12. Once again, Chicago Midway. Head over to gate
right. I want to say good afternoon, good morning to all of the producers that are here. I also want to say shout out to those viewers that are watching us all over the world. Give me a second here. And first and foremost, give me a second. Let me get myself together. That was the activist Jedediah here. So we do got some updated information that all the charges were dropped between the 14-year-old boy and the mother. They have dropped all the charges and they are being processed out right now. And I want to read this article to you all that just came across my desk maybe about 10 or 15 minutes ago. And I want to definitely read it to you all. They have definitely reported this out here. They said charges drop, and this is on the CBS News Chicago. Charges drop against mother and son in the Daily West Pullman shooting. Cook County prosecutors have dropped the murder charges against a woman and her 14-year-old son in the shooting death of a man during a fight in a fast food restaurant in West Pullman earlier this month. Carisha Hood, I hope I said her name right. Her son has been charged with first-degree murder in the slaying of a 32-year-old man, Jeremy Brown, on June 18 in the Maximum Street Express. They said right now, they said Hood, the mother, who has a valid FOID card and a concealed carry license holder at the time of the incident, was also charged with contributing to the delinquency of a minor. All charges were dropped on today. In a statement, Cook County State's Attorney Kim Fox's office said the decision was based upon our continued review in the light of emerging evidence. Based upon the facts, evidence, and the law, we're unable to meet our burden of proof in the prosecution of these cases, Fox's office added. CBS 2 has obtained cell phone video showing Brown punching Hood 3 times before her son shot him. Prosecutors early have acknowledged that the shooting was caught on video. And according to prosecutors, Hood was in line getting food while her son waited inside their car shortly after Brown, her son, entered the restaurant. Shortly after the guy that hit her entered the restaurant. Brown entered the restaurant. Both were in line when the argument ensued. Hood started texting and pointing to her son while a witness was laughing and encouraging Brown. The son arrived at the doorway as the argument turned into a fight, with Brown punching Hood in the head 3 times. According to prosecutors, that's when the team pulled out a firearm and shot the victim in the back. Brown fled the restaurant, but the team followed him outside and fired more shots as Hood instructed him to continue shooting, and he killed him, prosecutors said. He was shot twice in the back, later died from his injuries. It's unclear why prosecutors decided to charge Hood and her son with murder in the shooting when their account of the shooting noted Brown had punched Hood before her son shot Brown, and prosecutors acknowledged the shooting was caught on video. Hood has been ordered and held on a $3 million bond after she was charged last week. Her son was charged as a juvenile and was being held without bail. On Monday, Cook County prosecutors did not elaborate on what evidence led them to drop the charges as Hood appeared in court. Some community activists called for the charge to be dropped, saying Hood and her son was acting in self-defense after Brown punched Hood during a fight inside the restaurant. Neither Hood nor her son had a previous criminal record. I'm going to say this first and foremost. I don't believe justice was served in this case. I do believe that this was weak prosecution in this county, in this city. I do believe Kim Fox is a very dangerous individual that should not be in elected office, and I'm glad that she's leaving. This is on the backs of hundreds of people in this city have been murdered. Unsolved murder cases are at an alarming rate in this city. You have a prosecutor that is a progressive, weak on crime, and criminals are allowing to walk away for free. Carjacking is up. We just had a 19-year-old boy that was just shot in his left. He was just in the left. He was shot multiple times and died. Also, we had pastor. They call him the hood pastor, the pastor that, was sleeping on the roof of the motel trying to get a place for youth to go. And his administrative assistant's son was shot and killed. The city is dealing with an alarming rate of crime. And unfortunately, the prosecutor, Kim Foxx, very weak. Police, they're underfunded and they don't have enough backup. And they also have a lot of vacancies. So in this particular case, number four, where my opinion have not changed, I'm weeping for the man that was murdered. And I'm weeping for that family. I also would like to say that I am totally against a man putting his hands on a woman. I'm totally against that. I believe that any man hit a woman deserve to have severe consequences. But do I believe that that man should have been shot when he left the restaurant, multiple in his back? No. I believe that Kim Foxx fell under pressure to drop these charges. But this is the same woman that are overcharging police officers for doing their job. And those charges, she charged the officer for doing his job. And the judge actually agreed with the officer and said he didn't do anything wrong. And he got a not guilty. He was able to walk free. So Kim Foxx is the same woman that allowed Justice Smollett to get off scot-free and give him a slap on the wrist and drop the charges. And it was because of people in the city said, no, we're going to apply pressure to the courts to refile for him to be arrested. This is the same Kim Foxx that is very weak on crime. Under her leadership, crime is up in many parts of the county. It is definitely up. So I personally am not agreeing of this. I hope that we get a new prosecutor that will be tough on crime, lock up these ruthless thugs. And I also do believe they need to go away with this whole juvenile system. If you do commit a crime, murder, you should be charged as an adult, no matter the circumstances. If you commit a crime, you should do adult time. Because when I talk to residents in the north side of Chicago, the beautiful parts of our city downtown and beautiful parts of the south and west side, they complain to me a lot about the crime that is constantly going on in the city. And they say they don't have the support. If the victims feel like they are literally not getting justice and the ruthless thugs are getting a pat on the back. This needs to change. I believe that we need to go back to a tough on crime approach. This whole progressive not being soft on crime have not worked. And when I look at this particular case, when that police officer was killed by these ruthless thugs, killed a beautiful black woman that was doing her job, successfully doing her job. There was no community activists really on the front lines. Jedediahs have not rushed to get to Chicago when a black officer, a black woman, highly educated, was about to graduate from law school, that was brutally shot and killed right in front of her property. There was no outrage. Where were these so-called activists? They was nowhere to be around. And this is what's going on in our city. I feel as though that we have outrage on some cases and we're silent on other cases. The crime is extremely high. Where are these community activists when crime is running rapid in Inglewood, when Lyft drivers are getting carjacked, and when black women are getting harmed at an alarming rate? Where's the community outrage? There is none. So I hope our new prosecutor is tough on crime, a strong, tough on crime prosecutor to get the criminals off the street. And also that allow the police to be the police. I do believe that this whole soft approach to allow criminals to overtake the police have not worked. Now, do we have some issues in the police department? Yes. But we also have to look at the crime rates in those neighborhoods. And that's why a lot of police officers are leaving and going to other places with better benefits, less stress, and more money. I also, when I was seeing this story, I automatically was extremely upset at the rate of this story because it's on the backs of more crime in this city. No outrage. No Reverend Jesse Jackson. He's not marching. No Reverend Al Sharpton, silent. There is no Ben Crump, he's silent. But why is it that when a police officer shoot and kill an unarmed black man, automatically we get outraged? Duly so. When Pookie and Ray Ray shoot and kill their ops or smoke their ops, there is no outrage. And we need to definitely call it out on that. And I also feel as though that we will continue to cover these stories and bring awareness to these stories because Chicago is at our line, and not just Chicago. I mean, some parts of California that we were just seeing a story today about their crime, and all of these high-end stores are fleeing their areas because of crime, and most of these stores have the high security, and they're fleeing to the point most companies, when they leave a neighborhood or store, they take down their signage. They don't want it. They don't want the company to look bad to say this was a failed business. They're leaving at an alarming rate, leaving their signs up because of the crime. When you look at downtown, Magnificent Mall, all of these prime areas that was flooded with stores and created so many jobs, they're leaving Chicago at a very alarming rate, run by Democrats. And the crime is extremely high. And so we see this all around in this city, and it's very disheartening and sad that this have happened. And then when you look at the community not cooperating with the police because they believe in a no silent approach, no snitching approach, crime continue to run rapid in this particular city. And it's not only hurting those that without an income, that are broke and poor and on food stamps, on Section 8, housing vouchers, etc. It is also spilling over to beautiful downtown. Downtown is very beautiful. You can't even go and get a nice ice cream. You know, I love to go get a nice ice cream, but now it's even dangerous to go get you a beautiful chocolate ice cream because of the high crime. I remember a time you could just walk downtown and have a beautiful time with your friends, but now you have to look for ruthless thugs, teenager thugs, deciding to go and flood the area, flash mob the area, and destroy the community. They even did it in Hyde Park and just ramshacked the gas station. But what if those owners decide to protect their property? They will be called for them to be arrested. What about those hardworking families that own these and operate these businesses that is really helping the community by paying their taxes and offering jobs? What about them? And then our mayor, he decided to pretty much be on the side of the ruthless criminals. I understand that we as African Americans, we don't want to be seen to be, always against our people, but sometimes you do. I mean, if you're committing crime, no matter your color of your skin, you deserve to deal with severe consequences. Now, I also believe that mental health is very needed in this society. I believe that is very needed. I do believe that we have to do better with mental health services. And I also believe that when we look at the city of Chicago, which all of those facilities have closed, it hurt the city as a whole. It is so sad as I look at the people that had pride living in their neighborhood have to flee their neighborhoods because of the crime. That work hard to own and operate their property have to leave no farther their own. They're doing it. They're great taxpayers, but because of Kim Fox weak on crime, I call her weak Fox. She is very weak and don't have the back of hard taxpayers. Don't have their back. So they have to flee and leave their beautiful homes because weak Fox is being very weak on crime. Again, I am going to advocate that we find a tough on crime candidate, and we're going to back that tough on crime candidate 1,000,000%. That will definitely be tough on crime. That will not allow a 14-year-old thug walk out of his place innocent and just walk out and don't have any charges. It is time that we bring law and order back to the city of Chicago, back to Cook County as a whole. We need to get the criminals off the street and clean up our streets. When I talk to African Americans, all of them, they all agree that they need to be more tough on crime because they're tired of going out. You got to go to work and go out, your car is gone. You want to literally get in your car to go work, and your car is gone. It was stolen. And the burden is on you to get it replaced or find it. But what if you don't have the money? So this is the results that are dealing with. Do I agree with the prosecutors for dropping the charges? No. I do believe Kim Fox did it because these was black people and she loved black criminals. She's in love with them. And she's very weak. But I don't believe she would have dropped the charge if those were the white police officers, because she hate our police officers. She really hate them. I don't believe that she would have literally dropped those charges, which she haven't. She overcharges police at an alarming rate, and that's why they don't do their job. That's why they allow Pookie and Ray Ray to rob Grandma and Big Mama and Pookie and everybody. They let them run rapid, because if they do their job, Kim Fox want to file charges and get and throw the book at them. But then when you get a ruthless 14-year-old boy that decides to get a weapon from his ruthless thug mother, and they do it without a blink of an eye, destroy somebody's father, and they have to bury their loved one, the charges automatically get dropped. This is so sad. We need a law and order, a strong man or woman that is going to be tough on crime. And we don't need prosecutors to drop charges. We need prosecutors to lock people up. Now, in some particular cases, charges do have to be dropped. But I also believe that we need prosecutors to get the criminals off the street. We need a prosecutor that will work with the police department and not against the police department. When I was coming up, the prosecutor would work with the police department. The police department would work with the prosecutor. That have shifted in Cook County. Everybody want to do their own thing. And the people, the hardworking people that's on the south, the west side, and beautiful residents on the north side, and our beautiful parts of downtown, and all beautiful residents on the east side, they're suffering because the prosecutor is doing their own thing and not working with the police doing their own thing and not working with the prosecutor. And we hardworking taxpayers that work very hard, they are definitely suffering. And I do believe they need to be tough on crime. And I've also reached out to the governor, and I said it is time for the National Guard to come to the city to clean it up. We need a multi-force. We also need federal agencies. You need to definitely mandatory curfew. And if you're not going to work, you don't have an excuse to go to a doctor's appointment. At a certain part, they need to just lock it down because crime is extremely high. And I also believe that if you carjack, you should get 50 years in prison. And I'm also working with state legislators and actually telling them to change the language of the laws of carjacking. I'm sorry. Carjacking is out of hand. And people are losing their cars at an alarming rate. And they have to literally walk. I do believe if you carjack someone, you should be serving a minimum of 30 years in prison. I believe if you rob somebody on public transportation, 30 years in prison. There should be no more soft on crime approach when it comes to certain crimes. Carjacking is very serious because that's how a person moves around. And if you carjack somebody or rob somebody with a weapon, 30 years in prison. If you beat on a woman, 50 years in prison. These are the type of sentencing that should be on our books. And we must be tough on crime. We must allow the judge to give these people decades in prison, lock them up. Because some of these people, and they always scream, "Oh, we need resources. We need services," and we have the services, and in some cases, and the crime is still high. But while we do have to bring more services, I agree. We also do need to make sure we put on the books that if you're carjacking people in multiple offenses, and I've seen so many cases of a guy just carjacking and just walking around free, that should not be in our country. They should be locked up 1 to about 30 years in prison. And I promise you, and if our governor do not do it, then we need a tough governor. We need a tough governor that's going to have a law and order approach in the state of Illinois. Because when I look at the census, and I was definitely looking at the census, and I was shocked that I'm seeing so many people are leaving this state because of high taxes and high crime. And so we definitely need a new leadership in this state that is definitely going to be tough on crime. All right. Definitely, I'm praying for the victim, praying for his daughters that they will have to go to a casket and see their dad in a casket. Very sad. But I also think that other laws should definitely be changed. And I want to say this verbatim. Hold on, give me 1 second. Let me see what this is. Hello. Oh, okay. Just leave it. You could just leave it at the door. All right, thank you. So we definitely need a tough on crime approach. And I have to be honest, we have to be a tough on crime approach because we definitely need it. And that's why maybe I will be looking and I will be talking with some advisors on this to see what can I do more to help get the criminals off the street. I'm sorry. It definitely needs to happen. They only solve, if you look at the murder rates in the city, it's very alarming. It's under 30%, under 20%, less than 20%. That is so sad. And so I believe that we should give more resources to the authorities and more resources to mental health services and more places where youth can go up to 9 p.m. And also we should lock up parents that are constantly letting their children run rapid on the street and they don't have any child care for them. And they keep breaking the law. The parents should be locked up as well. We need to be tough on crime because people are tired of going there and doing all this vicious crime and all this stuff. And see, the thing about it is with Illinois, and I always tell my story here in my clothes, and we're going to open up the phone lines. When I had a mental breakdown in Texas, or I had a mental breakdown in Illinois, and they were supposed to keep me in the mental institution. I had a mental breakdown. I needed help. They let me go. Go give them a sandwich. Because in their words, we didn't have the space. They were overrun. So they let me out. They let me out in society. I was at that time unwell mentally. And this was run by Democrats. Everybody, Democrat, everybody Democrat. So because I had freedom and have to fled to a southern state, I was under my impression they're all racist in Texas. Oh my God, the Ku Klux Klan, Mississippi burning. That's what I thought. In this red state, this red place under leadership in the state capitol, majority under Republicans. Did you see it's at the door, Ma? That order, that sugar. And under leadership, red. And because I had another breakdown there, and because police officers weren't equipped to deal with somebody having a mental breakdown, they let me go free. And I went to the library and destroyed some property. I was not well. But before the library situation is on record, that we called the police department multiple times. They should have arrested me. They should have said, okay, let's put them in a mental institution. They didn't do it. This is all, I believe Dallas is run by Democrats, very weak. So that allowed me to run free. Then when I was doing the damage, I was able to go on a 30-minute rampage, probably 40-minute rampage in the library, 40 minutes. No police on site. Then finally, after that, they showed up. Then finally, somebody in Texas said, okay, he have a problem. We're going to put him in a mission. We're not going to let him go free like they did in Chicago with Democrats. We're going to allow him to be in this place for a couple of months until he get well. And then we had the charges, right? Then we got arrested. We went to jail because this was my first offense. Nobody was shot just like this young man did. Nobody was shot. Nobody was hurt. It was a couple of books, rampage. It was severe consequences. And we hired a private attorney. We didn't do a GoFundMe like this family did. I wonder what they're going to do with the GoFundMe money now that they're free. But anyway, we literally had the police department showed up when I was picking up my last check, and they showed up in the parking lot. And it was multiple officers, and they said, you have a warrant out for your arrest. And I said, all right. And that particular day, I was going to go back to the mental institution because I was over it. I was still not well mentally. So I went into the police station, beautiful police station, very beautiful. Carrollton jail was very nice, very beautiful. We were able to eat chocolate chip cookies, very nice. They allowed me to go on my phone to get phone numbers to call my family, very beautiful. it was just very beautiful jail. I would honestly, very beautiful staff, very beautiful, kind people. And they transferred me to Dallas, run by Democrats, very ruthless, dirty, run by Democrats, of course. So I went there and also we was able to get bailed out. And then we had a deal. We had a weak public defender. So we decided to hire a private attorney, an African-American private attorney that is also a Republican. So we hired him. He was able to negotiate with the prosecutor, and they said, well, this is his first offense. We're going to allow him to get restitution, just pay the money back of the damages. And they had one amount, and my good attorney, good, beautiful Republican, he was able to negotiate a better deal for me to pay less money back to the state and probation fees. And we paid it all back, paid it early, and we didn't commit no more crimes. That was it. We was able to live in society. We did not go out, get a weapon, and smoke a ops just like this young thug did. And we were able to do it. And so this is why I am proud of Texas. I'm really proud of that state. Beautiful state. Because that state was allowing me to get the help that I needed. I lived for decades in prison. Decades in Illinois. Under Democrats. They didn't give me the help. But I went to Texas, a red state, and I stopped listening to Democrats that will always say Republicans are racist, they're so evil, and blah, 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 blah. That's what they said. I was able to get the best mental health treatment from a red place, from a red county. I was able to get this help. And I wasn't able to get it with Democrats. You know, this is supposed to be the people, Democrats supposed to be really for black people and Republicans supposed to be against black people. But that narrative went out the window when I was able to get help by these beautiful Republicans. And so this is why I am independent. I look at a person's heart. I look at their character. I look and see if they believe in Jesus. And I also look at their policies about what are they doing to help people. I no longer look at if you got a D behind your name, I got to vote for you because I'm black. I don't look at that anymore. That have went out of the window once I was able to get help. And I said, I judge a person about what they have to do. Now, when I went to Denton County, I believe is run by Republicans. Dallas is a Democratic city. But because of the state help and the funding was able to help us. So this is under control under the governor. He's a Republican. But I was run by all these Democrats. They did not give me the help that I was supposed to get. And so honestly, now when I go in the voting booth and I sit there and I go to the voting booth and I vote for the person's character. And I look at their record. And I look at what have they done to help benefit me as an American. What have they done? Me as an American. And I just love that. I just love that. That's how I judge people. And I will never forget when before we open up the phone lines, I will never forget when I was in Chicago. I was on the South Side in Inglewood. And I decided I wanted to go vote. You know, this was during the time President Donald J. Trump was running. He was Donald Trump at the time. And I was looking at one of his speeches, and I never heard a white man speak like this. And he said this, and I was watching it. I was literally in my grandmother's house, and I was watching it. He said, "Your schools are no good." And I looked, my schools were no good. Your neighborhoods are run down. What do you have to lose? And I said, that's right. And we were all these Democrats was running the city as long as I've been born in the city. I said, well, I'm tired of voting Democrat. We had a black president, and yes, we can. And my neighborhoods are still run down. So I said, well, let me shift. So I went to the voting booth. It was at a beautiful church, a black church. And I said, I voted in the primary. This is my first time voting in the primary. I never voted in the primary. But I wanted to vote for Donald Trump. So I went there, and I needed a Republican ballot. I needed a ballot for the Republican. And I saw this beautiful black lady, not so much beautiful, but I'm going to just say beautiful black lady, Democrat, probably Obama supporter. She didn't even have no Republican ballots, or she pretended she didn't have it. She had to shuffle for. She was shocked. I said, "What do you hear?" Well, I'm saying, I'm voting Republican. I need a Republican ballot. I'm voting for the primary. So she had to find it. She had to find it and shuffle. I don't know. The Obama supporter had to find it, and it took me a little while, like trying to discourage me not to vote for a Republican. And when I voted for Donald J. Trump for president in the primaries, and I told my friends, I told my neighbors, and I told people, they dragged me for filth. They were cussing me out, calling me the C word and Uncle Ruckus and all of this stuff, working for Master, and they were saying all these things, and it made me cry. And I was crying in my Make America Great Again t-shirt because I bought it, and I was crying, and I threw it on the floor, and I just felt that I was strong-armed to vote for Hillary Clinton, even though I know she was going to lose, trash candidate. Because she had hot sauce on her bad, she's a very trash candidate. And so I was like, listen, I don't want to vote for Hillary. She's going to lose. Because the reason why I knew she was going to lose, because Donald Trump was able to touch me on the south side of Chicago, an area that is run by Democrats and infested with crime and poverty. So I knew she was going to lose, but because to keep the peace from my family and different people in the neighborhood, I said, okay, I will vote for Hillary in the general election. And she completely lost the election. She lost. Because she deleted 33,000 emails. She just deleted it. She just went on and deleted all of those emails. Just deleted her emails. Like, just went on and just hit that delete button and deleted the emails. And she wasn't charged. She was able to delete it. And I said, this is not the right woman for the job. And one of the pieces that when I saw when Hillary and Donald Trump, they were talking, and when Hillary said, I helped to close a loophole that I tried to close the loophole that Donald Trump took advantage of, right? For he don't have to pay any taxes. And Donald Trump said, I took advantage of the tax code just like your donors took advantage of the tax code too. And why didn't you change the tax code? Why didn't you change it? You was a senator, your husband was in a, why didn't you change this tax code? So don't get mad at me for taking advantage of a tax code that you did not change. And I would say that was so honest. That was so honest of what President Donald Trump have said. But once he got in office, and I'm honest, man, I didn't see the city of Chicago change. In the neighborhood I was in, I was gooped. Then I had to wake up and I understand, and I start researching the city council and about the power of the alderman and the power of the mayor and the power of our governor. That they have the keys, they have the bag, and we got to work on that. Then I started knowing this is more so on the local and state level. And I start calling my state representatives in other districts. I said, hey, what are you doing to bring more funding for our neighborhood? Our schools are no good. And so, understand. So, but when I moved to Texas, a red place, the crime was low compared to Inglewood, ruthless crime in Inglewood. So I love the fact that I was able to see both sides of the aisle. I believe, and I want to say this before we open up the phone lines, I do believe that Republicans should work with Democrats and Democrats can learn from Republicans. I do believe that. But I also believe that me and you and people in the chat, that we must also go to these meetings and advocate and be on their tail like everybody else. And this is why I try my best and I stand strong. And I always sell myself and say I represent the voice of my people. And this is what we need. And I always speak about the agenda. And I have a list. And I on the script. I'm very professional. And these people, some of them are gracious that they see a young African-American that are doing it. Some of them don't want to pay me no mind, but that's fine. But I'm not going to stop because I understand as an American, I have a right to know what is going on in our society to help our city and state become a beautiful place. Because I'm this close to becoming a first-time homeowner. And so when you have become a homeowner, you're a part of society. You're bringing more revenue to your county, to your state. So you must actually get more involved into what's going on. So I love looking into what city council is doing. I love to see what the state is doing. I love it. I just really, really love it. Now, as I'm an expert, no, I'm not an expert. But when I am an expert in a man that have been deprived of resources, I'm an expert of not having. So, and I also an expert of knowing how to say this is what needs to be done to make this place a better place. And so I don't get discouraged because I don't have the doctorate or the PhD behind my back. What I do have, I'm an American. And I do deserve to be at this table to speak about these issues. And I don't know if I ever will run for office. I don't know. I'm not going to rush and make any announcements today. But I do believe that a lot of our politicians have failed us. And because the people, the public, we sit on the sidelines and allowing them to screw us over and over and over and over again. And we must stand up as Americans, to stand up. When I saw the migrants flooding our neighborhoods, the South and West Side flooding our neighborhoods, these Democrats allowing these migrants with no citizenship, they need to take them back to their country. Because my approach is, and I'm just a simple man, if our own citizens are suffering, we should get the first dibs of every piece of resources, not people without a bank account or ID or birth certificate. That should not be the approach. I believe it's a very wicked approach that we're allowing people with no type of citizenship to be able to get more resources than Pookie and Ray Ray that have lived in this country and city and place for all their lives. And they get pushed to the sidelines. And you got all these people from all parts of this country with no rights, that they're not a citizen. They get apartments, beautiful apartments, beautiful apartments. But literally, Pookie and Ray Ray is still on the waiting list to get Section 8 vouchers. That shouldn't be in this society. And don't give me that crap, because some of the liberals, they would say, this is a sanctuary city, sir. Well, what sanctuary do black people have that have been feeding for services? They have not gotten it. But yet you can find hundreds of millions of dollars to help people that have illegally invaded our country, illegally. And open borders, allowing to flood our country. And we as African-American people have to allow these, burglars, they had invaded our country, they had literally broken the law, to give them resources, food. We feed them. Can you imagine somebody breaking your house, bring their families breaking your house, and you feed them? You give them resources. You buy them an apartment. That's not no deterrent. They're going to encourage more people to continue to break the law. Just imagine you and your beautiful house, and somebody break in, and you make them some pancakes with scrambled eggs. You make them some bacon. You give them an ice cold glass of orange juice. But then your children that lived in your house for years and, lived there, they're still your children. They're there. You don't give them nothing. They get whatever's left, which is nothing. That, to me, that's the same approach that we are giving people that is coming to this country with no resources and giving them everything. And then people that have lived here and that have birth certificates that live in this country, they absolutely get nothing. So, again, I just had to say that, and I know it's a closing statement, but we will open up the phone lines and allow you all to call in. But do I agree with the weak Kim Foxx? Very weak. I don't agree with her at all. I think what she did was sad, and I hope that we get justice for that young man that lost his life and was a father of two beautiful girls. And so now I would open up the phone lines, and I will allow you as the public to talk, because I definitely had to let you all know that. And I did see Milagro Gramz roasting and gagging Cardi B. She cussed her out. She's doing it on the behalf of Nicki Minaj. We know this. We have put it out there. And I understand that she's doing it for Nicki Minaj because she loved Nicki. She don't really love Nicki. She used to criticize Nicki a lot. But she only doing it because the barbs is the reason that it helped her eat at night. The barbs are the reason why she can give money to her baby daddy so he don't have to spend as many hours breaking down boxes at Amazon. So, again, that's why she's singing the praises of Nicki Minaj, because Nicki Minaj have the barbs that support her, okay? And so that's how that goes. And so to help give it to her baby daddy, because that ain't her husband, that's her baby daddy. And so he don't have to spend hours breaking down boxes at FedEx. So we will see how this going to play out in the future. And that's why she's dragging Cardi B. Because when she look at Cardi, Cardi's successful. Cardi got more money than her. Cardi's more beautiful. And Cardi breasts don't sag like a sack of potatoes. And so that is something where she's hurt by that. Cardi B have a husband. Even I don't know if they cheat on each other. We'll get into another video. We ain't gonna get into that right now. And you know what I'm saying? When Cardi asks for a man, they come to her. They don't walk away from her like Tory Lanez did, Milagro Gramz. And that's what she had to deal with. You know what I'm saying? That's what she had to deal with. And I understand that when it comes to that. And Nicki Minaj never did a sit-down interview with HD cameras with Milagro. She always go on Milagro Gramz show, eating ice, eating chicken. Her connection ain't working. But she never took the time out. Have you noticed that? Nicki Minaj, she's an incredible artist. She never said, let me come on your show with cameras. Let's do a sit-down interview. And we all know Black Tea Blogs. Is she still living? I don't know if she's still living. But Black Tea Blogs, I don't know. When I say she's still living or she's still going live. Black Tea Blogs, she's a Black woman. She's literally a Black woman. And I thought she was related to Whoopi Goldberg because she didn't have no eyebrows. But she's a Black woman, right? And she always used other pictures and used other people's identity for her show and used thumbnails, identity for her show and all that. Because she's, you know, all that type of stuff. She used other identities and stuff, other pictures of people. And I get it. That's what she does. I don't think she have eyebrows. And she used different identities. But Nicki Minaj never came on her show. Nicki never came on and said, hey, let me come on your show and let me sit on your show and have a sit-down interview with you with beautiful HD cameras and lights. Never done it. When the last time you seen Nicki Minaj ever sit down with Black women that defend her and cuss and all that? They pee on themselves defending her. She have never came on their show. Never came on with beautiful HD cameras. Never came on. But yet they defend this woman like she's God. And she don't give a darn about any of them. She never took time and brought beautiful HD cameras and sat down with her and getting her makeup done and get a Tay wig and never done it at all. What she have done is block Black Tea Blog and all of the blocker and unblocker, play with her like she's a cat, and never done it with Milagro Gramz. Every time she go on to Milagro Gramz, she never ever came on her show like for a sit down with beautiful HD cameras. Literally, she go on there eating nice. I don't know. Every time she come on, Neat, not Neat. She never had nobody like that. She's a pick me. Every time she come on Milagro, she's always eating. She's always eating. The connection is gone. She can't hear the person. But when she go with other People magazine or white publications, she's looking good, looking nice, beautiful, smelling good. But she don't give that same resources and power to Black Tea Blogs, to Milagro Gramz. But you would think that she does all this because they defend her. And one thing I like about Cardi B, and I don't want to say too much about Cardi B right now because we're going to do another video on Cardi B. But in my close, before we open up the phone lines, because then nobody call in yet. Okay, when somebody call in, I stop. But when Cardi B went on Jay Salee, the beautiful Jay Salee, she did an interview for almost 2 hours. Nicki never done that for her super fans like Milagro. Why haven't she done that for Black Tea Blog? I mean, and we love Black Tea Blog, even though she wanted me to get even though she had a private eye to follow Armand Wiggins, she wanted me to do her dirty work. That's fine. But she never went to Black Tea Blog. Now Black Tea Blog, you know, it's kind of difficult to try to go on somebody's show with makeup when you want to hide your identity and be somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, let's just say she could show up with a beautiful mask, a nice mask, if she don't want to show her eyebrows and no eyebrows. That's insecurity. But I would love to see Nicki Minaj embrace Black Tea Blog and literally tell her to stop talking like her, embrace her and say, you know what, you're beautiful. Though you may not have any eyebrows, though you may have went through what you went through, but at least you are still beautiful. And I will come on your show and we can talk and we can have a beautiful conversation. But I don't see her doing that. But these people, they spend hours defending these people. Tory Lanez never sat down with Milagro when an interview. Tory Lanez never sat down with Milagro Gramz in an interview. Never. Never sat down with Milagro Gramz. And I felt so hurt for my sister, and I want to say this because we don't have any callers. That's fine. When I sat down with, and I saw the video, I was sitting down, I was eating some popcorn. And while I was eating popcorn, Milagro, you know, she had on her makeup. Oh, yeah, no, you can put it in. Oh, yeah, you get it. So, because that's the sugar, but I put this in the refrigerator. Oh. Yeah, that's the sugar. That's because that's what it's for that coffee. Oh, okay. Yeah, Milagro. She was there. She was talking to Tory Lanez. Beautiful. I mean, she had extra grease on her chest meat. And she said, hey, Tory, hi. How you doing, Tory Lanez? Hi. She was waving a beautiful wave. Tory Lanez looked at her and he proceeded to keep on walking. And he walked with a very fast pace. Very fast pace. He ignored her and he kept walking. This woman didn't have on any undergarments, or if she did, it was a thong. She had her chest meat was extra greasy, and he walked past her. That particular day, and I'm going to say this really quickly, and yes, the charge has been dropped. Y'all just got here late cheeks. And then Armand Wiggins, the beautiful Armand Wiggins. He's very beautiful. Beautiful white teeth. He didn't buy it, but he went to another country to get it. He literally sat there and had a conversation on Twitter. And he cussed her out. He called her bees, bad, built body bee. So many derogatory terms. Do you know what Milagro Gramz did? She laughed it off and met him and ate a sandwich. French fries. They went out for fries. They took a picture. But yet she want to criticize Cardi for calling black women roaches, but you were called the B word by a black man and you embrace him with some French fries. So I want to say this, and y'all can send this to Cardi B. I need y'all to screen record this part and send and tag Cardi B. Beautiful French fries. But you, Milagro, was called a B word. You didn't call for a protest. You embraced that brother with a hug, went to his house, and smoked a fat blunt. Armand Wiggins called OG a monkey. You had nothing to say about that. You proceeded to go in there and smoke a big old blunt. You got high. So how dare you sit in a seat like you in this moral position of righteous and coming against Cardi B for what she said about people, but you didn't say a damn thing about Armand Wiggins for calling OG a monkey and calling Tasha K a B word and calling you a B word. Where were your standards for Armand, ma'am? You're doing live after live about Cardi B words, what she said. But you have not done that, a Twitter space, a beautiful Twitter space, about what Armand have said about black women. What he have even said about you on Twitter. You embraced them with a hug and y'all were laughing and eating overpriced fries. Okay? All right? We have nothing to say. Overpriced fries. So you can stop all this Cardi B trash talk when you couldn't even speak against your own brother, that you was in his house smoking a blunt. You went to a restaurant. You went to his pool on his rooftop, a pool that he's sharing with everybody. Not that good sanitary, the germs and stuff. But you went there in his pool. Didn't say a word. You didn't say a word. Did they say a word? So, anybody want to call in really quickly? I don't know if we want to get anybody to call in, but back to our original conversation here. The Chargers would drop. We 1000% disagree with weak Kim Fox. She's very weak, and we're glad that she will not be our prosecutor in the next cycle. It's time for a beautiful tough on crime. We need a beautiful tough on crime person because the crime is unbelievable in Cook County. Very, very unbelievable. So we're going to put the number on here. If anybody want to call in, the number is 972-674-9462. Anybody want to call in? Thank you all so very much. I see KLE here. I see Love Maria here. I see all these beautiful people are here. I see Armand Wiggins fans are in the building because he ain't live. He's getting high. Okay. He's dropping coke up his nostril. We see Jacqueline here. How you doing? How you doing? I said I think the boy and the mom should have been charged. Absolutely. I believe that too, Dre. Absolutely. All right. So we want to say thank you to y'all that are here. Why did the 14-year-old? Because he's a ruthless thug. That's why. Mm-hmm. Ruthless thug. All right. We want to say this in my close because I do want to say thank you so very much. We're going to go right back live after this because some more stuff came across my desk. I do want to say thank you all for viewing our show. First and foremost, I want to say thank you. When I was looking at the numbers y'all have came through, the subscribers are going up. We're constantly seeing what is working. I do want to thank people are emailing me stories. Thank you. They said, I love that. And continue to send me great stories. We have other stuff in the works, and we are going to continue to cover this. But I also want to say we had a beautiful station head show, very beautiful last night. And we will see y'all today. Yeah, we will do some more videos today. We did not go into work today. They wanted us to do an extra shift today. But I knew I had to work with you all today. And typically I try not to go to work when it's an award show. When it's like literally an award show, like on Sunday it was an award show, I typically try to keep the days clear because a lot of stuff goes on in this way. Okay. Yeah, I try to keep it clear. They said who DAF charges drop. Okay. They say, I guess it's okay for 14-year-olds to have guns now. We are moving to a lawless society. But yeah, I agree. All right. So we're going to talk about more ruthless cases in the city of Chicago about how this young man was shot and killed in a Lyft vehicle. No outrage, no activists, nobody's marching. They don't care. So we're going to continue to cover the crime that is happening in this vicious city. It's a beautiful city. Used to be a beautiful city. Now it's just run by thugs. And beautiful. It was a beautiful white lady. Very beautiful. Very nice. She was walking her dog. Just really walking her dog. And two thugs came out of their car. Two thugs. And they proceeded to put a weapon up to her dog's head. And to her. And they stole her car and her wallet and her purse. And she had to leave the city because of this high crime. And the thugs, Kim Fox, they couldn't find him, no charges. Just weak on crime, very weak. And so it's very disheartening that hardworking people that live right, law-abiding citizens, they're not doing enough job, okay? And we're going to keep y'all updated with more stuff here in the city because there's a lot of crime here in the city. Little black boy, you're beautiful. Little black boy, you are enough. When you see somebody committing crime, call the cops. Prosecutors, when you see criminals on the street, prosecute them to the fullest of the law. And always remember to put God first. Thank you all for people. We also want to thank those that have donated today to our Cash App. God bless you and thank you. And we will see y'all again. All right. God bless you. Thank you all. This is a beautiful live. This is a beautiful, 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 beautiful live. Beautiful, 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 beautiful live. And I know y'all gonna drag me in the comments. Drag me. Make sure you don't cuss. And we will definitely see. I will see y'all in the next live. Okay. It's a sad day of justice because justice was not served. And Kim Fox, I'm glad you will not be returning in this time. I wish I could run to be a prosecutor. But we are definitely going to talk to some people. I have a meeting with the RNC to see which candidate we can pick, somebody tough on crime. And we definitely going to see. We're going to meet with some Democrats, but we definitely going to meet with some strong RNC, some Republican candidates as well to see who can we get behind to hit the campaign and knock on doors. My goal is to knock on 300,000 doors to get a new candidate that's going to be very tough on crime. Okay, we're going to continue this in the next video. Y'all have a blessed one.